NFL on EA Sports, and we are in the Steel City at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium.
Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The kicker, Chris Boswell, has it ready to go, and we are underway from Pittsburgh.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it now.
They're going to take this up close to the 40, so really good starting field position.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Throwing first play is Herbert. Got an open man. It's Josh Palmer.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
Doesn't matter whether it's zone coverage or man coverage. The drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Herbert's throw taken in by Palmer.
He's got this to the 30 before being taken down.
That one good for 20 on the catch and run. On 1st down, it's Herbert.
Incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
On 2nd down, Eckler.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sets his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert.
That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett.
And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. Here we go on 4th. Herbert.
And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs.
Pickett leads the Steelers up here with a fresh set of downs.
At their own 23.
Meanwhile, Pickett's throw completes a Freiermuth.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
They run the play fake. Here's Pickett.
His throw incomplete.
When you're a capable runner, oftentimes your quarterback coach, your offensive coordinator, they love to see you break the pocket and go ahead and take off. I think he could have gotten vertical and picked up something there. Instead, he pushed it downfield. Incomplete.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
And they'll run for the first time with Najee Harris.
And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you.
And Pickett in trouble, and down he goes. It's Khalil Mack that time, shooting in there to get him to the ground. On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt.
DeAndre Carter back deep. And taken right at the 35. 35 yards that time on the punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going.
A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through, was able to hold them without any points.
I would agree with you, partner. A little bit of a lucky break indeed, but you know what they'd say to us? No luck, just pure skill. We rose to the challenge, and we didn't permit a score. That's how we roll.
Well, I'm kind of curious, Charles, if they might temper their aggressiveness now offensively if they get in that
Touchdown! Gerald Everett from 21 yards away.
And the Chargers get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
No problem there on the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
After 7-0 on EA Sports.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Looking to throw, Pickett.
Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
And the tough thing is when he goes back and reviews the film, he'll see that he already escaped the pocket. He could have gotten more himself by using his legs, and that might have been the better choice there instead of challenging the zone. A miscalculation on his part, and he pays for it with the interception.
They started on the ground with Eckler, and he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30.
Miles Jack with a big-time hustle play there as he backs the offense up.
And that's exactly what offenses try to avoid by using motion and throwing different formations up. They hate when he can draw a bead on the play, get a running start, and make a big play behind.
And he fires one that's intercepted. It's picked by the linebacker, T.J. Watt.
And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked up by J.C. Jackson.
And the Chargers are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, the goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Here's Herbert.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown.
Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets them on the board first, CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick 6.
And I know from experience throughout the week when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick 6s and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us? In a tie game, both sides are looking for something to give them an advantage. It often falls back on special teams, and that return, that could be the spark to untie the game.
The Charger drive about to get going.
They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And now off to the races down the right side. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Extra point now by Boswell. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. DeAndre Carter now from his end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Charger drive about to get going. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. 27 yards there, a first down. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Running on first down, Eckler. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Herbert now. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. Under pressure, they got him again. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. And these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him up.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, they certainly knew their challenge as this series began, and they got to stop on play number 1. Goal now, get 2 more stops and limit the damage to a field goal.
Pickett throwing again on 2nd down. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Chargers force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
The Charger drive about to get going.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter.
This taken in at the goal line.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Up to midfield. 30. 10. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Steelers. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge it, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff.
From his end zone, here comes Carter.
Well, now how about this return? He's to midfield. And he'll go out of bounds, but 10 yards inside of enemy territory at the 40. Great return.
It's the third quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard. And while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. He dumps it to Eckler underneath. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
From the 38, Herbert.
And to the right side here, it's Allen.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Steelers are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
So an opening drive interception to begin this second half.
And just think about the time you spent in the locker room going over what you expected to do in the second half. Not the way they saw it, not the way they drew it up. You find out this is something that you can't just edit, right? There's no rewrite.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Derwin James with a pick.
And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football.
Oh, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through the...
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack. Well, remember, he had the interception earlier. Now he adds the sack. He's really making his presence felt out there.
Well, he is putting together a heck of a game. In fact, he's going to bump these plays to his highlight reel. Okay, so when he wants to show it off later on, look what I did out there, guys. In this offense, we got to start paying him a little special attention. He's like a good basketball player, putting stats in every column.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And And sometimes against that, you can get it out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And now here's another interception. Picked off by Cameron Sutton.
And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
On second down, this is Harris. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Pickett connecting with Freiermuth.
And he's down into the red zone at the 15 after a gain of 15. First and 10. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up first and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
Throw left side, hauled in by Pickens.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective. Able to...
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown.
Najee Harris.
A 10-yard touchdown run.
And the Steelers are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Pickett will try to throw for this.
And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational. You have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's complete to Williams. 3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 30 on second down, Herbert. And his throw is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Herbert. On the sideline, did he keep his feet in bounds? They say yes. Great job, both feet in, first down.
Excellent play there on third down. Give them 25 yards.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
To the air again, Herbert. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. He's at the 30. 10. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score.